Welcome to Words of Love from Yeshua, Chapter 4 Transiency. Soon all the words written herein will form a unit to give every reader the whole picture of my male and female being, that as a unit brought you forth as children, as well as every other living being. You are but the first to find me. In the afterlife, many more will find and eternally thank me for that grace. Certain nations will find me in my works, other more cultured nations will find my by ear, or through the heart affected by poetry, music, and proverbs. Other nations will find my unity in the way of marriage, like the Boer nation of South Africa. The wedding band is my way to teach the souls the holy aspects of submission, wisdom, cooperation, love, and eternity. By every couple that honored me, a holy progeny found their way back to me. Pray blessings onto your ancestors, that they kept your origin holy and do it as well for your seed. Know that the sanctity of marriage is just as an eternal statute as the Sabbath, and you will even find it in my first Bible as a starting point for spiritual development. Everyone who yearns for his partner and humbly becomes attached to that partner will learn to understand how inseparable I am from my female partner. The one is like the other, yet we are two in eternity. Why would a person wonder about things that cannot benefit? Rather wonder about things that can bring the spirit to maturity. No other can deter your growth if you focus your energy on the correct issues. Firstly, focus on what I have blessed and enlightened for you, namely love in the marriage, and every day's doings between your nearest, and finally to the eternal or issues where my will is still unknown. I am always and everywhere involved. My spirit Miriam is here to take each of you by the hand to lead you to green pastures of restoration. Waters of rest are already flowing and you are drinking, yet not everyone equally brisk. When can I hand out my hard-earned wages? The empowerment is already around the corner, and therefore nobody must slack in prayer. The earth is waiting for that for her renewal, and can no longer disguise her anticipation. Look at all the activities on the earth's crust. Like a child who cannot sit still, where to with those who try so hard to escape the natural disasters? Everyone will experience it differently. But all I ask of my beloved is to be quiet and to intercede in prayer for the nations, loved ones, and the earth. Worthy are those who ever invoke me from the depths of their heart, for they shall I meet with the touch from the eternal. Blessing they will not expect will rain on them to validate their humanity as forerunners for me. Come to me to be taught in ways that will benefit you forever. Come and thank me again for speaking to you, because by my Yeshua Miriam spirit, I shall lead you here to liberation from your powerlessness. Blessing involves the disclosure of all abilities sprouting from faith and charity. Place your entire existence on me by only bethinking love, and deal firstly with love to receive wisdom. Carry on further. If anger is softened by love, wisdom will show the most powerful antidote for sin. Become diluted in waters that heal, because humanity needs it. Even in your own children's education, love has good stead. Guard against anger. Work with your children's hearts by continually reminding them of the influence their deeds have on their hearts. It should be my holy dwelling. The imagination of a child would manage much easier to create a home for me and keep it clean as soon as he or she understands. Therefore, take note of the effect that your problem handling has on children. The smaller they are when taught about faith, the sooner they will understand and master. Faith is the divine will to act creatively. Every moment of earthly existence calls for faith. For example, to use the body is a divine will. However, it is disregarded, and therefore few people advance any further. If faith lets your heart burn with love, wisdom will teach where and how your faith can make you more subservient to your neighbor. Thus, work hard to keep your faith alive at levels mankind was intended to function on. This distinguishes him from an animal. Faith should be large enough to start first steps like a baby. Man is unable to act by faith alone. Only when man has united with my Yeshua Miriam's spirit of love, faith will stem as power from it. Therefore, man cannot lay claim to any works of faith, but the honor will always be unto me. However, faith is placed like a mustard seed in man's ability. Overcome only the self through love. It's outlined in Volume 1 of this new Bible, and learn to love my wisdom as a result of your love for me. Systems in this world are based firstly on time and space, and thereafter on the self-centered benefit that Satana, her property, and fettered state brought about. Only I can replace it with a renewal of systems that all living will heed to, and it will be as follows. The money system that you are now using should be replaced with a mutual give and receive system. Everyone should have just enough and keep what is needed for their home and hand out the rest to those who have a need for it. Granaries are unnecessary in times of hardship, where humanity now really stand. Always hear with ears that want to hear wherein your neighbor has a need, and if you or someone following me can be able to help him or her. The giving and receiving must take place in mutual humility and gratitude. People have lots to share with other. Based on prayer indications by three parties, it must be confirmed whom the sharers should be. Such workers are like bees and ants of the colony and key workers in the maintenance of the system, but not leaders in the building, teaching, or consultation on decision. Do not underestimate or disrespect their zeal. Trust and share everything with and bless your neighbors, my children. Love is the legislate and wisdom is the executor thereof. Nobody will be able to perform should I not give them the power therefore. So pray for wisdom to make her home in you, and I will live in your homes. For without me you are lawless, and that is unloving. Meager is every gift where I am not the principal, starting point, or giver. Thus do not give until you have consulted me. Do not meditate to give before I have not blessed your day and acts. Because as you receive in abundance, you will also want to give in abundance. Why should vehicles that look the same transport different passengers when they are on the road to the same destination? Only because the passengers are the imprint of my holiness and property. I am eternally without equal. Therefore, every passenger in your body is without equal. Thus make each passenger to obey the vehicle's rules to travel from point A to point B, and thereby you sanctify your whole body. Make them furthermore obedient to honor the necessary stop points and new passengers, and you will make them humble. So lead a humble life to enjoy a successful trip and receive me as inheritance. I, Yeshua Miriam's Spirit, fill you and everyone around you with my eternal life of breath, so that you may live. By what other way is life on earth possible? Do you know that if the Spirit in you is put out, you just receive your breath in another instant? Many have speculated and read about it, but this moment's breath is just as far from me as the next, as long as your heart has not found or knew me. However, if you have learned to live near me, you will open your eyes the moment you change your breath with the other side, as you say, and you will immediately recognize me. Male and female in me are so united that you will always recognize me in the masculine form, with the feminine beauty. Beauty is a term the world has chosen for the euphoria of the soul. Amiability and euphoria are based on man's interpretation of what he sees before him. Allure is based more on the sensory, where beauty is a reference to the soul. Once the soul and spirit unite, the description becomes euphoric. Therefore I am euphoric to the soul that sees me, and therefore the soul will not know hunger and thirst anymore. I am all a soul needs to survive. So if you already accomplished this on earth, you would not have to live by bread alone, like during my days in the wilderness. In the current system, it is very important, but in times to come, prayer and affirmation will indicate between whom newcomers should establish themselves, not within specific limits. Because the sea is the border of a country, but further, all should be free to help cultivating the earth, maintain it, and so share in the harvest. Nobody shall cheat one other or come short in love. The days of labor and rest are in a fixed order. 6 days you shall labor, and the seventh day rest, beginning with day and night equinox as the first Sabbath of the year. Thereafter, on every seventh day for the rest of the year, and on the day and date of the festivals, as indicated in the first Bible. I already have given word to this servant about the use of this in a calendar, and it will become the norm and standard for the entire earth. The addendum. True deeds of love are based on the maintenance of life. Therefore, every man shall begin to live closer to nature, either in the care of humans, animals, or plants. Each person has his mission and tasks, and it bears power if it is carried out with diligence. People who cannot help as a result of weakness of body or heart have their role as linkages between me and the earth. This keeps the cooperation of people in motion, like the gears of machines, because it forces people to stay active around the needy. There's no time to sit still and rest for a long time. Therefore, people should alternate and master charity on multiple levels. In the state of humiliation in which the poor thus have found them, they have chosen in advance to help neighbors to develop, and in cheerfulness and gratitude they should do their task, whether it is through prayer and friendship, to help as servants to grow in works of faith. It is to hope for good results of their work and teamwork. Not everyone is avid speakers or leaders. Some are just like a small plant in the field that lives on the power of the sun and rainwater to feed them. But they grow as a principle and look forward to little things. Such spirits should be supported and involved in small team projects to lift up their living joy and perseverance to higher levels. They are not necessarily religious, but need the solidarity of people. Therefore help them to be grateful and joyfully pray my will over their lives. Every spirit's development on earth is for some other purpose. Respect everyone according to the way that I wish them to develop. Truth is not a necessity for every person. They that live for each day's work and responsibilities are not much bothered about the truth that every heritage, statute, law, or prayer poses. They do, however, live well, are serious, and therefore involved in a different way in the establishment of my new heaven and new earth's actions. They are routine-driven people who get up early, care for, and have endurance to complete each activity with care. Where would men hide their faces should they realize that I am present in every enlightened person around them? How ashamed would they be if they had known that my omniscient wisdom abides in every umpteenth person? But it will appear in the days before the new heaven and earth actually descends, and therefore they will actually cry. Mountains fall on us and walls cover us. However, I will relieve their fate and take them away from this earth, before their soul becomes too shocked to want to find me. Value of every moment lies in the love that you live. The higher you consider your neighbor and serve, the more value this moment had for your soul. If you only please yourself, you have but only swept those moments of your life away. It is like your earthly treasures when I come to take you. It all disappears into oblivion because it does not belong to you. My remuneration system is immeasurable and accurate. Every moment devoted to your neighbor, you achieve extreme wages in the eternal. Therefore the last on earth will a rich man in the eternal. Look at the stars and consider my omnipotence. Read how much man has discovered of it, and you will realize the scope of my being. Each star is but a moment, a second, a candle in the light of my being, and yet I, as Yeshua Miriam's spirit, penetrate and fill everything. My eye sees everything. With this I only want to reveal my love for you. Think about my humility and greatness and love me. This chapter is called Transiency, and it shows everything that still has to do with this earth, giving every reader the chance to choose between truth and falsehood, or life and death. If you have made your choice by your love for me and my ways, you will experience the following chapters as a joy and you will understand. I, Yeshua, am speaking through my spirit of love, Miriam, to let you merge your hearts as my new flock and covenant people. The time's ahead. Come alive as a unit, and the one will wash the other's weaknesses away before me, so that I can protect, save, and empower you. Lament over the dead who live their deadness and will understand no light, and find me in my creation of love. Restrain yourself from open ties with deadness and sin. Become holy. I am holy. Yeshua Miriam's spirit, earth source of your existence, now take your hand in our marriage, my people. Blessed are you in the earth bought by my blood. Blessed are you while the lion walks at your side. Blessed are you when in humility the wheel turns and the eagle's hymn rises above the crow. Noble is the people chosen by my hand. Noble is the heart, burst love, noble is the man that binds his heart to his hands, and the child growing up, only bound by my blood. I, the beginning and end hereof speak, blessed is the soul wherein my bread now has broken. Amen. You now have life before you, take it.